Hi, Joanna. Let's take a look at what you wrote in this new set of essays. We've got online communication. It's more popular than face-to-face meetings. Let's see what you said here. Okay. The issue of whether virtual meetings are favorable for companies grew in importance since the advent of technology, making it an easier choice for people to connect with each other online rather than conduct face-to-face meetings. This essay will analyze both sides using examples from the World Health Organization and Leeds University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, now, first of all, let's look at the question again. What are they asking you to talk about? Do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? So it's a very direct question that they want the answer to. And in your introduction, you have oops, where am I? Where is it? Let's see, sorry about that. Right, here we go. So you haven't answered it, okay? You said that you will analyze both sides. Um, the only time that this is appropriate is if it's a discussion where it says to you, what are the advantages and disadvantages or both? Okay, that is the only time that this is okay. Usually, though, IELTS essays ask you for some sort of position, some sort of opinion, okay? So it's really important that this opinion is given in your introduction. And maybe we've talked about this in some of your previous essay corrections. But the reason is that if you look at Band 7 under task achievement, it says a clear position is found throughout the response. So throughout means from the beginning until the end. Okay, so the easiest way, the clearest way to make this happen is to make sure that you answer the question giving your position in the introduction. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to talk about, and this is really important for task achievement. Now let's look at some of the language you used here. The issue of whether virtual meetings are favorable for companies grew in importance. So what are you saying? That this issue of whether they're favorable or not is what has become more important? Okay, it's a little awkward. And then you go on and you say making it an easier choice for people. What is making it an easier choice? The issue? It's really unclear. You've got a lot of stuff happening here. So I would have rewritten this to make it simpler and clearer. Okay? Um, what is the essay really asking you? They're basically telling you, first of all, they're making they're kind of giving you a given, okay, that we're using online forms of communication more than we are face to face. They're just assuming that that's true, and you have to assume that that's true. This is what we need to ask now. Is this more positive or more negative? The fact that we don't communicate in person as much, but instead we communicate more online. Is this positive or negative? Does this have more advantages or disadvantages? Okay, so this is what you need to be answering. So I would have rewritten this to address this particular issue. Okay, so something like nowadays in the modern workplace, employees communicate more through digital methods and rely less so on face-to-face discussions, or face-to-face discussions would be okay, or in-person discussions. Um, while this may have a negative effect on interpersonal relationships, on the whole, it leads to better processes and more efficiency. Okay, that's how you could do this. All right, I hope that makes sense. I hope I've explained it well. Let's go on. There is ample evidence that supports the idea that video conferencing is beneficial for employees as it significantly reduces overhead, no S here in overhead, okay? Because it's an adjective. It reduces overhead costs, improves employee output and productivity, and gives them an opportunity to maintain their work-life balance. This is because workers, especially parents of young children, here at Unity, are subjected to endless amounts of travel time from dropping their children to nursery to traveling to work themselves. For example, a study published by the World Health Organization acknowledged that workers gave commuting to work and travel time as the main reasons that drain their energy, forcing them to be less productive when they arrive at work. Okay. Is this your paragraph? All right. So Um, I liked this a lot. I thought it was a really well written, well structured paragraph. It's really very straightforward. So all that was really good. My only concern is that it's really rather limited in its scope. So in other words, you only talked about video conferencing. Okay. Whereas online communication could mean many, many other things. Um, it could mean email, could mean chat. Okay. Let me take a look one more time. Online communication. Yeah. So let me see something here. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't giving you misinformation, and I haven't been. So yeah, when we talk about online communication, we don't just mean like video conferencing. So we don't mean just things like Google Teams or Zoom or Skype or anything like that. We mean the whole range of ways that we communicate online. So that includes text messages, that includes um, email, so all of that. So just referencing video conferencing here makes me feel like this is a little limited. Okay. Um, Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. Other than that, I thought you really, really, really wrote very well. You could have just closed out the paragraph with a therefore. Um, the trend towards online forms of communication has many advantages. Okay, just close it out like that. All right, let's continue. Although online communication seems like the ideal method to conduct meetings, there are several drawbacks that need to be considered when implementing said method. Oh, that's a nice sentence. Good. This is because company culture would suffer a loss as workers no longer convey I can't speak today, sorry, can convey physical intimacy that is usually present in face-to-face meetings, thereby causing chances of miscommunication as everything is related back to text or video. Good. That's good. At least you mentioned text here. For example, as related back, I don't really understood. I didn't really, I still can't talk. Look at that. Jeez, what is wrong? Um, So yeah, this is still a little awkward as everything is related back to text. I don't get that. So let's try it again. Thereby causing chance of miscommunication. Um, how about just the information in text can be limited? Something like that, maybe? Perhaps. For example, research published by the University of Leeds stated that 2 out of every 10 employees in small businesses preferred physical meetings instead of online, as the prior offers, now, we don't really say the prior, we say the former. Former offers them a chance to interact with their colleagues and correct any grievances that arise immediately. All right, that's nice. I'm glad that you mentioned text. Um, this felt to me that it covered really the whole gamut of an online communication, whereas the previous paragraph I already told you talked just about video conferencing, and so that kind of concerned me. Let's see. To conclude from the examples and arguments, I believe that online meetings are beneficial for companies as not only do they reduce costs, but they also improve, because look, it's meetings, it's plural, productivity. In the future, it is predicted that companies will offer a hybrid working model, which allows employees to um, balance. Well, I don't know if I like this balance between, which allows employees to balance working remotely and working in the office. Yeah, you don't really need this because you already have balance. All right, that's okay. So let's go back to what we talked about in your introduction and now in your conclusion. Now, here you talked about online meetings, which again, I already said is not the only issue covered in this essay. Okay, it's just online communication in general. So again, kind of broaden it to also include text, to also include email. Okay, so that's one thing. And then this isn't really a question. The essay, and this is something I think most people miss in this essay. The question is not, you know, this kind of black and white, all right, which is good, which is bad, online or face to face. It's a little more subtle than that. So it's they're taking the fact that we're doing more of this online stuff as a given, and is this shift positive or negative? Okay, the fact that there's less face-to-face talk, less face-to-face interaction, and more of this digital interaction, is this positive or negative? It's not about whether online is good, face-to-face is bad. Oh, do you understand what I mean? So it's a little more subtle. And what I found is that it's the higher level essays, at least higher level in terms of task achievement, that really understand what the essay is asking. Okay? So, but let's go back to what I told you about the introduction. Really, really important is the actually including your position. Okay? So, telling us from the beginning what you think, because this is actually the first time that I see in this essay you're telling us that this online interaction is better. Okay, let's move on to your letter now. All right, you want to apply to the full-time job. Fine. Dear Tim, I hope this email finds you well and safe. I'm writing to you about the business development manager opening within our company. I wanted to outline the reasons why I would be a good fit. Oh, that's lovely. That's really nice. Approachable and friendly by nature, I thrive in environments where relationship building is essential for the potential growth of a business. As an individual, I'm very entrepreneurial in spirit, which allows me to perform well when working independently or as part of a team. Moreover, in my previous role, which was quite like this one, I have raised over 26,000 in sales just by pitching to clients. I just wanted to make sure that it was I have raised rather than I raised. I'm tempted to tell you make it raised, not have raised, because you're saying previous role. Therefore, you're putting it clearly in the past. So present perfect isn't really appropriate here. It probably would sound better with I raised. So let's look at it like that. Moreover, in my previous role, which was quite like this one, I raised over $26,000 in sales just by pitching to clients. Yeah, that makes more sense to me because it's previous. You're showing us that it's something in the past. Within the next 3 years, I hope to oversee a team of 5 where I motivate and guide each one of them to execute tasks efficiently, and together we increase our I still can't talk departmental output. Good. Considering my familiarity with the organization and my highly developed interpersonal skills, I feel I would be a great asset to the company as I set high standards on myself and consider self-education and being informed as one of the many crucial ingredients for success. Great. I'm attaching a copy of my resume for the post, and I hope to bring my valuable skill set qualifications to the table. Yours sincerely. Okay, just lowercase your s, and this is fantastic. This is so, so, so nice. I would hire you. I think you used great language. I like that you referred to your manager as Tim. It's semi-formal, so this is exactly what it should be. I thought this was an excellent, excellent letter. Even the details that I mentioned are so minor that, it really minor, minor, minor. Yeah, this is fantastic. So I want you to feel really, really great about this letter. Really strong, really high level. Just think about and try to correct the issues that I brought up in task 2, as those are really important. Okay, primarily, as you'll remember, it was issues about task achievement. So mentioning your position in the introduction, um, and also making sure that you really capture the nuance of the question, okay? Rather than just making it this very bold, black and white kind of, this is good, this is bad. No, it was a little more subtle than that, okay? So you're really on a great track. Keep going. I'm really looking forward to seeing your next set of essays and seeing how you apply all the feedback from this set. Okay, so keep working and I'll be waiting for it. Good luck.